Hello, this is barely comprehensible. I'm creating this as a form of self-expression to contain my rants that I sometimes have on my discords that I am in, and they're often uncalled for and hard to understand for people because my language skills are not so good. But I, when I will make it this long enough, maybe in some time this will become comprehensible instead of barely comprehensible. An upgrade of some sort. If you know me, good. If you don't know me, good. Today I wanted to talk about ideas because very often we have them and very often we don't do anything with them. They proceed to be nothing and they just disappear from your mind if you don't write them down. I am one of those people who is that in that category. I have those ideas of RPG scenarios, of like enemy design, of drawings, of 3D models, multiple things I can do, but I very rarely do them. Like, you have to have this drive, or maybe bravery. Bravery is a good word to try to do something with your idea that you have, because it takes a lot of skill to transfer an idea from your brain and actually materialize it to something real. There was this architect, and I can't even say philosopher if I want to be pretentious. His name was Israel Abraham, and he had this idea that he has this like saying that ideas in your brain, they are perfect, but once they leave your brain and enter a different sphere, like from your brain to a piece of paper, they are less than they were before. There is a transfer cost, like, you know, when you're exchanging money, there is a cost to exchanging money. So you have €5 and you transfer that to zlotys, and it's actually worth less because the exchange place takes some money as payment for transferring your funds to different to different money. So there is a cost every time you transfer an idea from your mind to a piece of paper, from a piece of paper to a 3D model, and then from a 3D model to an actual building, for example, or a video game or a movie. There is cost every time, and every time you do something with your idea, it becomes farther and farther from what the original was. And that is because of your skills, and because like the idea constantly warps, and if you can like visualize it with your hand or with a computer, it will never be the same. And that realization that, oh, I wanted to create something, a drawing of a enemy from Diablo 2. I really liked drawing enemies or characters from Diablo 2. They never looked like I wanted them to, and that was very disappointing and very discouraging. I stopped drawing multiple times before I even finished, and there are multiple drawings that just never got to be, because the disappointment when you start something and it's not as you want it to be, it is very discouraging, crushing, even if you're not ready for that. You have to be like you have to have a lot of strength to persevere in creation. It's really not easy. And even if you have the skill to create something, the drawing at the beginning, especially if it's not just a simple pencil thing, if it's a digital or a painting, the forms that can be like achieved before it is finished can look like a children's drawing in the beginning, and you have to have a lot of perseverance to actually finish it, to make it look right, because it will just look really bad for a long time. And there's like this phase, there's this second side of the coin, when you're at some point and the drawing starts looking great, and you're afraid that you'll ruin it with working on it longer. That's another like hurdle that you need to overcome when you're doing the thing, when you're drawing or creating or writing. Yeah, like you have a story and you created this setup that leads to a mystery, for example, and very often you don't actually know the answers for the setups, for the questions that you're asking for the reader, and you will be aware that the answers that the reader made themselves will be better than your answers. That can be crushing too. Creativity is terrifying, especially with the internet. Like, there are those internet people that I have, let's say, different brains, and they create something hideous. They create like paint drawings. They can be 30, and they will create paint drawings of their like Sonic OCs, and they will look hideous. But if you look at their DeviantArt libraries, they will do that for years, and they publish them, and they have no shame. And like, people will laugh at that or be terrified of their creations, but they are free. They just do. They create, and in their minds and in their art, they are unstoppable. And they're impressive for that. No, their art may be not impressive, can be repulsive, but what's impressive is their strength, their like their mindset, that, oh, I have this idea and I will just create it, and I will not care about my technique, about my skills. I will just realize this idea the best I can. And in some ways it's totally alien to me. How can you like create in this mindset? Because it's just alien. I am unable to put myself in that. I want everything to be good, and that's foolish, because you have to learn, and those people may never learn, but they will still create. But I think sometimes they are closer to the right answer than I am, because perfectionism is idiotic. It leads to nothing. It can lead to a lot of suffering. And if a lot of people I know, and I think I believe it too, say that if you're a perfectionist, that just means that you're not doing enough work, because you will create too little or just never create anything. That's the perfectionist curse. Like, you can call yourself, oh, I'm a perfectionist, but what I hear, what I imagine in my mind when you tell me that you are a perfectionist, that you create very little or nothing, because it's just useless. It's useless to pursue perfection. It's much more productive and fun. That's the thing that people forget, that the hobbies, creativity should be fun. It's like, perfectionism is not fun. It will just lead to pain and nothing. it will just stop because you are unable to visualize the thing that is perfect in your mind, the idea. It will just disappear into nothingness because you are not unable to create it the perfect way. And if you think about it, it's really sad. So we should learn to overcome that perfectionist and just create shitty things that in time will become better. Like my language skills, perhaps. Who knows? We'll see. Thank you for listening to my video and see you around.